welcome race fans into the HCK Beagles Racing League here tonight from Talladega. We're in store for a great show for you all here as these trucks get up to almost 195 miles an hour and we get some close racing action going on here. So buckle up, it's gonna be a good one. So let's get things all started off here with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And welcome back. As always, big thank you to the great support that these guys get over here at the HCKBRL, because without some fantastic sponsors, well, these guys would have some issues here trying to get things up and running. So big thank you to Freedom Landscaping for this Freedom Landscaping. I forget the total mileage, but thank you guys so much down there in that Carolina area. I know it's the winter season, but you know, spring is just around the corner. Get yourself some professionals for all your landscaping and yard care needs. Give them a call at 336-909-0629 for family, veteran-friendly, professional help company there. Also, a big thank you to, make sure I hit the right button, Davidson Builders as well, on board all season long up there in that northern New Jersey area. Be sure to go check them on out if you're looking to remodel your home or anything like that. Big thank you as well to AdminBoxx on board here all season long for your pull award winner. As well as a big thank you to TrackDogsRacing.com and Dubby Energy, but more about them here in just a few minutes. I'm Alan Brown, and I am joined by my two best friends, Mr. Alan English here with me in the booth. Alan, we are back here at some super speedway racing with Talladega, and it's going to be a fun ride indeed.
It always is. Every time we come to a super speedway with this league, it's always a blast. Tonight's not going to be any exception. This is a huge track. There's lots of room to run, 3 and 4 wide here. We've seen these guys do. So, looking forward to it for sure. It's not every day we get to see awesome racing here at Talladega. So glad we're here today.
Indeed, it's down there on pit road. He doesn't have his, well, he now has his camera on. Why don't you look at that?
I didn't hit the button.
Sometimes you don't hit the button, but he's here. Mr. Adam Turner down there on pit road. Adam, we're back live here with some high-speed action coming at you from this great super speedway.
Yeah, man. The HCK Beagles always put on the fun stuff here with the super speedway action here at Dega. I wish my camera was working. I got my Albert Anderson America's Driver shirt on and my HCK Beagles hat. You can get that at trackdogsracing.com. Check them out for all your cool stuff. But as far as tonight goes, I'm looking forward to it. These trucks are awesome here. And we should have just what I'd call a blast tonight. 2 fast repairs, 75% fuel, minus 5% power, which kind of helps these guys out to keep it straight on the track, and 4 sets of tires total. That will be it. It's 81 on the track last I checked. And Albert Anderson looks like he is sitting on the pole right now so far.
So far, indeed. Taking a look at tonight's race info. A nice 2.5 mile race surface that they have here tonight. No weather issues. Excuse me, looking in the future. So these guys will be able to get this whole thing on in, bringing us down to tonight's key to the race. And man, whether you're partners and teammates with somebody or you're frenemies with somebody, you just got to figure out how to work it out and work together here tonight, because it's all about working with that draft.
Yep, that's right. You got to work with who's around you. You never know where you're going to shuffle out. Like if we get a massive pit stop, say under caution, everybody's coming out together under caution. Well, if you're going to restart with no friends around you, you just got to work with who's around you there. So, we'll see some of that tonight, I'm sure.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a friend or a foe, or make your foe a friend for a little bit and then stab him in the back and turn him in turn 4. That can happen here at Talladega. We see the craziest stuff almost every league we do, but specifically with this track in any league. The way the track is set up, it's just set up for just an awesome finish.
We saw that some of that during practice. Team America was out there running, and they split up into 2 lines, and Tom Barish was behind somebody in the upper line, and they got together and just wrecked them all out. And there's nothing you can do when you're racing in a pack that close. If something's going to happen, you might as well pull the steering wheel off the thing, because you're not going to have any control over what happens after that point.
Yeah, that's very true. What's happening out there on the track? Who's knocking them dead out there?
Well, it looks like just about everybody has done their qualifying runs here. Mike Adamson just looks like he's doing some cool down stuff right now, but Jay Burton is the last one that we're waiting for. Ooh, Hunter Smith just joining in the session here.
Better late than never.
In the nick of time, yep. He had less than 2 minutes to go to jump in here. I'm glad he made it.
Not a huge car count, but I think enough to have some fun.
Yeah, I want to say something about the lone qualifier that we have here at these big plate tracks. It doesn't really mean a whole heck of a lot. I mean, you look at the field here. 2/10 separate everybody, and the last few drivers are quite a bit off the pace there. So, I mean, you could throw a blanket over most of them. If you could put all the cars on the track at the same time, and they were ghost images, they'd all be right there together. I mean, it's not a whole lot of difference in the way these guys run on a lone qualifier.
Yeah, I never understood the lone qualifying at a track like this. Really, you can't really prove anything. I guess you can just a touch. I guess Albert's just that much, and Winker just a little bit better.
And I think it would hurt the single and 2-car teams out there if they did do group qualifying. It would put them at a disadvantage because they don't have 3 or 4 other guys to run with. That's
true. More fair this way.
Indeed, as qualifying is set to finish up here in just a second. Hunter Smith, oh goodness, tried to get it in there, but I think he's going to fall just a little bit short.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to qualify here. You can go from worst to first in a matter of seconds at a place like this. As long as you stay with the lead pack, just get out there and stay with the lead pack, and amazing things can happen. Even the English can win a race here.
That's true.
It happened once before. Qualifying has ended, which means we're getting all stacked up and ready down there to get in this. Excuse me. Ooh, goodness gracious. Get this party started. And we got your AdminBoxx Poll Award winner, Albert Anderson, sitting on that #1 spot. Right beside him is going to be the 42 of Kevin Winker. 751, Mike Adamson will start behind Albert here in row #2 with the 51 Joshua Moore on his outside in 4th. 88, Zachary Staten, one of those Staten brothers, going to be starting here in 5th with the 5 of Stephen Naylor in 6th. The 96 of Josh Freed will start here in 7th with the 4 of Eric Stoy in 8th. 9th will be the 6 of Paul Durkee with the 15 of the other Staten brother, Cody Staten, rounding out that top 10.
Mark Collins in the 23. Old Mac's going to start in 11th place. 12th will be Tom Barris in the double nickel. Kel Turbeville in the 64 Klondike machine will start in 13th place. Starting beside him there in 14th, Little Remmer, Gregory Turner in the 69. Hunter Smith and J.A. Burton are going to make up a row #8. And that's going to round out your field. And we want to thank once again Michael Newton for returning to be race control out here for these guys. Sure appreciate it.
That indeed is. We get the field all lined up and ready to get some pacing underway here. We thank you all for tuning in and watching. Oh my goodness, I can't stop coughing, man. I might have that COVID.
Oh, I got the COVID queen over here. I might have transmitted it through the device to everyone.
I'm gonna blame Zuckerberg over there.
Yeah, it's always his fault or that Gates guy. He's the one that passing this thing around, funding the whole damn thing. But besides the fact, she's a 9-time run of champ, she'll be fine.
Yeah, but either way, we'll get this thing started off, hopefully without any missed point after attempts.
The Cowboys need to tighten that up. Hey, he got the Brady, though.
Has anyone found out like what the record for that one is yet, though? Because that's got to be a record.
The most missed extra points during a game? I don't know.
It has to be at least a playoff record.
Or at least like a most consecutive touchdowns without an extra point, whether it's a 2-point or a kicking extra point made, because they went 5. Between the two teams, there were 5 total touchdowns without an extra point being made.
I'm going to have to get on the Googler, man. But you know what? There's disinformation out there I got to be mindful of when I'm searching this. But I'll try to look that up for you, Brown.
All right. Well, while you do that, let's go ahead and talk to tonight's AdminBoxx Poll Award winner, and that is going to be Mr. Albert Anderson. Let's go ahead and move him on up here as we talk to that guy sitting in that #1 seat right now. It's the 747 of Albert Anderson. Albert, you have dethroned the king of these qualifying runs, that 51 of Joshua Moore, and taken over that lead dog spot here tonight. What are you looking forward to here?
Hopefully just a clean race. I would love to be able to race to the end without, a bunch of cautions and a bunch of wrecks. There's not a whole lot of us in here, so hopefully we can get some good clean runs in here. I got my teammate Mike behind me, so hopefully we can stay up here for a while and put on a good show.
Well, Limitless is getting some love over there in the YouTube chat, so good luck out there tonight, fellas.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, guys. Hopefully we put on a good show for y'all tonight.
Oh, well, I think you will because I'm wearing your shirt. So you got good luck right now.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much.
All right, brother. Be good.
And, of course, AdminBoxx.
I mean, I'm a little fanboy. I'm sorry, Brown. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. AdminBoxx, your proud sponsor of the Pole Sitter and of the HCKBRL.
I'm still looking this up for you, Brown, but there's so many memes. What are they? Memes?
Memes.
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 Whatever. There's some real funny ones out there about the kicker, Dallas kicker, but it does look like it is a record. NFL playoff record.
Oh, well, we got 70 laps here today. So once
Yep.
we get this thing underway, we're going to see what these guys can do on a fuel run. Hopefully, we'll see some differing strategies here later in the race. And that always makes it a little bit more fun when you got people doing different things as far as strategy goes.
Who's over there trying to kill the blue cone all the time?
Oh, that's good old Kale. Kale
That's Kale.
Turkville.
Yeah.
60, yeah, in the Klondike machine.
Yeah,
He swings
bringing-
down there and tries to kill it.
Ooh, looks like he's bringing the Chrome Klondike back out. Always love to see that as we go down this backstretch here one more time and get ready to go to that green flag racing. We thank Rebecca Smith tuning on in. Tower operator, good evening. Michael Adamson saying, "What's up, guys?" Well, right now we're going to be getting ready to watch you race there, Mike. Kyle Vaught saying, "Evening, fellas," and that you couldn't see me either. Well, that's because you don't want to see my face because it looks like I walked through one of those CS gas chambers in boot camp. Got stuff flying all over the place. It ain't fun. Rebecca Smith saying she wants a hat. Well, head on over there to trackdogsracing.com and you got some of those AAA broadcasting hats up there. Adam Turner saying operator error on the camera. Kyle Vaught with a little smiley, laughy face emoji thingy. Greg Dobson cheering on that Limitless team. Michael Adamson saying thank you to him. Larry Dickerson joining us here in the chat as well. Rebecca Smith saying that Hunter had to put his son to bed. Close call. Well, yes, it was, but he made it. Dobson saying he's liking that inside row, and someone with a name I can't see saying cheering on the 42 of Kevin Winker with Greg Dobson saying 700 club up here at the front as we go green flag racing for the first time here tonight, and we set it on off down into turns 1 and 2 side by side. You got that 42 of Winker getting some big help from that 51 of Joshua Moore, but Albert Anderson getting just as much help from that 751 of Michael Adamson here. And I think we're going to be in for I don't want to say a long race, but it's going to be a little bit calm here for a while, boys.
Yeah, especially if they start getting spread out here. I don't think we'll see too much of that. These guys, with the reduced power setting in these trucks, they're very draft dependent. So I think we're going to see plenty of big pack action. And if we get a secondary pack, a trailing pack back there, that'll be fine too.
As we complete our first lap in that outside lane, and Kevin Winker officially leads that lap by crossing that start-finish line before Albert. And we are officially underway here tonight at Talladega for 70 laps in this Freedom Landscaping sponsored race.
Yeah, they're
You
just
guys
straightening
have
it
to get
out.
up to speed.
Yeah, it takes about a lap here. We don't have to really worry about cold tires. I wouldn't imagine tonight. Not on a track this large. They heat up pretty fast. And the banking is just so crazy. You're not going to slide around too much. Now, you could tend to slide around if you run those tires about 60 laps or so without changing them. But so far, so good. Everything's real clean. Pretty straight lines.
That indeed. I just need to excuse me. Look something up here real quick.
A little bit of wiggling up here towards the front, but for the most part, that's not really affecting much of. Oh, we got a blinker. It's blinking in and out of the 42. That's the 51 of Moore. And look what it did the outside line. It did slow him down quite a bit. Adam Strom, you did hear correct. If you go to trackdogsracing.com, there is some AAA broadcasting apparel on there as well as some stuff for the HCK Beagles Racing League, Vigilante Racing League. NTRL's got some stuff on there as well.
New stuff all the time, too. It's really cool.
Heck yeah, they're doing a good job with keeping everything fresh and updating the store now and then. They're good hats too, aren't they? The snapback.
Yeah, Richardson 112,
Richardson
only the
hat?
best. Yeah, only the best. That's all I wear. It's my favorite type of hat, and that's what they have over there. As far as this hat, I don't know. They might have other options, but
That's the ones that we have at work too. I think those are Richardsons.
solid quality hat. I know it's not made in America, so whatever country made it, I'm sure some 10-year-old kid made it, but they did a good job.
They did a great job of getting that thing put together. Side by side, we got Team America on the outside controlling the first two rows there. And Limitless Motorsports on the low end here. So teams working together, helping each other in their own separate lines so far right now. We know how Team America likes to get up there as early as they can and control both lines, but not able to do that from the front row so far with Limitless up there holding strong on the low line. Now, if the outside line could keep it tight and, everybody has a good internet connection and everything, they should be able to push Kevin Winker up there to clear the 747. They kind of start that little revolving door up front with the outside line passing the inside line, but they're just not all together right now able to do that.
As Brown calls that the lazy Susan, right? Is that what you're talking about, where they're kind of
Yeah.
coming in and out and in and out, and everybody needs a chance to lead. You definitely don't want to be leading the entire race because the fuel, you're going to lose more fuel.
That indeed. Give me a couple more seconds here. I'm updating something.
Oh, well, this is breaking news. Race Control has just encouraged everyone to go 3 wide, so
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Greg Dobson asking, any overheating issues for these guys expected tonight? The ambient temperature and everything at the track is nice and cool. However, if these guys are staying right on tailgates, I think that's what he's getting at. If these guys stick too close to that tailgate for too long, that the truck in the back does have the potential to overheat. So these guys are going to have to be looking at those gauges and know when to duck out and pick up a little bit of cooling air for that oil cooler and that radiator.
You definitely want to. Every once in a while, you'll see someone just dive to the inside below the yellow line and try to get back in the back of the pack because they're so hot. They need to get air back into the truck. So I'm sure we'll see that at some point tonight.
So far, just 2 wide front to back here. Nobody wanting to make a third line try to work here just yet.
So it's really Team America versus Team, is that Limitless out there?
Yes.
Adamson and Anderson. So
Got one of the goats up there, up high. Let's see, what team are they over here?
Wonder
I don't see them in the.
which one?
Oh, there they are, the goats.
The goats.
Yep, Stoy, Durkee, and Naylor.
That's why we keep calling them the goats, even though in other leagues they're not called the goats.
A couple of those guys running together up there.
I will say though, teams are great, but what everyone's chasing after here for, especially these drivers in that top 10, we're in the middle of the playoff run here. As we take a look at the standings real quick as we go 3 wide, Kevin Winker and Eric Stoy tied at the moment. That is absolutely insane. Not too far off, though, is Hunter Smith and Cale Turbeville, so some good results from them. Same thing with Durkee and Freed. Bittner doesn't look like he's here tonight. Was in these playoffs as well as, Joshua Moore, Mike Adams. And I mean, yeah, they might, points-wise, they might look like they're far off, but, I mean, just a couple good results here in these final few races, and they can get right back into this mix as the three-wide action here continues up at the front, as looks like that 23 machine of Mark Collins making a big old push here with the help from the 3 and the 55.
Yeah, another team up here trying to battle NTG with the 23 and the 55. Got Hunter Smith riding in the rocking chair there as they're up on that high lane. Looks like they're not able to make a whole lot of ground. They'll get a run now and then, like they're getting a heck of a run right now. They're just unable to capitalize on it when they get to the turns.
Well, the main thing is they have two faster pairs, because I know which way this is going to end if they keep this up. It's going to be fun.
I don't know, Adam. We might be setting our own new record here, and how long these guys can hold that 3 wide. Of course, the more we talk about it, the more likely something is going to happen, but you know what? That's not our fault. We're just broadcasters.
Yeah, we're just sitting up here talking. We have nothing to do. We can't control this. We're not the Illuminati. We're not the puppet masters here. This is on these guys out here in their individual rigs, in their individual teams. We are not the puppet masters.
And why do I keep seeing you leaning down while you put your finger to your ear? Who are you talking to over there?
Just calm down. Don't worry about what you see I'm doing.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Pay attention to the race. Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. They seem like they have it under control, but I don't know.
Yeah, as it looks like really not much wiggling going on either. Everyone's looking really steady there, even in the middle. Looks like the 55 of Barish will bail out of that 3 wide run here, so it's just leaving the 23 and the 3 up there all alone.
He had enough of that. Barish might want to duck out of that and live to fight another day, because where he was sitting, there would have been, if an incident happened, he would definitely been involved.
Definitely having some fun up there, that's for dang sure.
And how much concentration does it take for these guys? When you're 3 wide, and you're watching your rear view, you're watching your side.
Total.
And it's draining, really.
Total concentration. Yeah, it's these guys are going to be not only physically tired at the end of this thing from a death grip on that wheel, but they're going to be mentally tired as well. Somebody's got an open mic, it looks like, out there on the track. It's like they're watching TV or something.
That's the race control. Yeah, he's having some fun tonight. Playing like clips.
Hot mic.
Yeah, they didn't care for that, the drivers.
Here we go. Here comes Mac and Hunter Smith on the outside again. A huge run. It always dies out, though, right as they run into the corner here.
Well, they're also really not pinching down on that middle lane either quite yet. I know once when we start getting down to it, I'm sure these guys are going to get all tightened up. But right now, everyone's just kind of driving in their own little lane there. These racetracks have been nice enough to add those, dash marks to kind of indicate, the separate lanes here along the track. And for the most part, people have been just kind of staying in their own lane. Like driving down that, what is it, the Katy Freeway there in Houston or whatever you call it?
Yeah, the Katy Freeway. You got to have a pistol in one hand. You got your beer in between your legs. You got your cell phone in one, and you're driving with your knee. That's what they're doing right now. I don't see anybody waving their pistol out the window just yet, though. That might be for later.
Now we still have probably about 55 laps to do before that even becomes a issue. Looks like the 5 Maybe trying to peek his way out to the outside lane. Maybe try to time the run here with the 23. But he also doesn't want to lose the position that he's got by making a bold call here early on. But again, I think this would be the time to make it, though, where you got time to make up if something happens.
Well, and he's got a teammate right behind him. He doesn't really want to leave his teammate in the 4 hanging. There's an option to duck in behind him, maybe. I mean, depends. You want to be pushing or you want to be pushed?
I don't know.
I
kind of want to be in the back.
Yeah, no kidding.
I just... You want to be in the back? These things don't even have a truck bed, man. That's fake.
Not in the back of the truck physically.
Back of the field.
I mean, have you ever ridden in the back of a pickup truck? That is a scary thing. Oh, yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Well, there you go. Winker dove down. So now Team America with their usual plan here at Super Speedways, they now control both the lines. Whoa! Joshua Moore got stuck in the center there. Team Goat on the outside. Josh Moore stuck in the middle here. He got nowhere to go.
It's funny.
They're going to drop way back here.
It's funny how just one truck makes the difference here. And the second the 42 of Winker dove on down to that bottom line, you could just see the middle line lost all momentum that it had. And the 51 just dropped like a stone. The 96 of Josh Freed tried to pop on out maybe to save it. But now here comes the 6 of Paul Durkee jumping on out to that middle lane here to try to get them all back up and running. So we dissipate the 3 wide for a moment.
And that did help. Now that second line is moving on up, at least kind of staying steady with them. And that 3 wide lasted quite a while without a wreck. That was pretty impressive.
Somehow Paul Durkee moved way up and his 2 teammates moved way, way back.
And now looked like Moore jumping on down to that bottom line here again. So you got the team of Goats pushing their way on up here to the front.
You think they're kind of anticipating pit stops here in a few laps, maybe trying to get in position by getting on the low line?
It's definitely possible here. I know Winker
Kinda
likes
early, but
Winker likes to throw some wrenches in that pit stop kind of plan. We've seen him in that Team America team. Oh, something happened to Hunter Smith.
What happened to him?
I don't know. That's what we're gonna go check out and see. It happened behind, was single file.
He pulled off the track.
He blinked. He blinked, and I think the 26 might have got his back end because he had disappeared, and
he disconnected. That's Southern Outlaws Beauty Shop. Dale Earnhardt throwback. Done, unless he can come back. Ouch.
He may have to he may be disconnected just to try to restart and then jump back in. We'll see here. But he hit the wall pretty hard. He's definitely going to be using a fast repair if he comes back.
Cool paint scheme though. Gregory Turner's in the rear with the gear in the 69 HCK Beagles racing truck. We haven't seen him do too much racing lately. Good to see him out there.
It looks like the HCK Beagles Racing League.com website. You can go there for schedule, standings, sponsor information, driver biographies. There's all kinds of stuff to check out over there. Go look up at their website there, HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com.
A lot of syllables you just used there.
Yeah, it is.
Wow, way to go.
yeah,
Stowey's looking to do something here.
Well, I mean, he's tied with the with Kevin Winker here for the season championship standings, and so he doesn't want to be sitting in the back all race long. I mean, he's got some good company back there with, Jay Burton, Stephen Naylor, Little Rimmer, and Gregory Turner. He's got some good company, but he's slowly going to inch his way back up here towards the front. Rebecca Smith saying that the baby probably woke up. Ooh, how old's his little one there, Rebecca? So
Must be little.
yeah, we know.
Look at Stoy. He's passing people like on the shoulder
by himself.
Yeah, that's some stuff you do on the Katy Freeway right there too. Sorry, Brown.
That's all
I
right.
got excited.
And it kind of reminds me, and I'm not really one to watch NASCAR or anything, but wasn't that something that Senior did? He would get a run, pick up a car, drop back in the line. Get a run, drop it, and keep doing that. And next thing you know, he'd go from last to first in about 6 laps, and it's just like, well, how did we get here?
Well, here's the thing. He's going to have people go with him if he's going to make that outside line work. See, it only works for a short amount of time. As Paul Durkee drops down in front of the 42 of Winker, he's going to lead a lap here.
Using that run as long as he can, coming up here to lap 22, going on to lap 23. I think with the fuel that they got, they have to be down by lap 30, but
Limitless is coming down. They just announced.
There you go. I was going to say probably lap 25 is where we're going to see everybody, but Team Limitless diving on down here into the pits. Let's see if they get any other takers. It looks like it's just going to be the 2 of them, so a pretty clean pit road for Adamson and Anderson here.
Good job getting the speed spilled off there.
Yeah. His computer crash, Hunter's computer crash, it wasn't the baby. He's 1 year old. He's 1 year old. Like, it's not 1 year old. Did you see the name? Rebecca says the baby's name is Evan Halen Smith. That's so cool. I like that.
Van Halen. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Very
awesome.
cool.
Well, he had a computer problem. He's back.
That's good. He's going to be down a few laps, but definitely not out of it as we get another round of pit stops underway here. We got Winker, Staten, Moore, Staten, Burton, and Turner all diving on down into pit road here. So,
well, as we predicted, the team's pitting together there, Alan.
yeah, no surprise there's the one thing that's going to kill you on these plate tracks, other than getting into a wreck, is if you pit by yourself. You have to have someone come on down with you, and so when you got a team running, that definitely helps you on out. And I mean, I'm looking through the people here in the list in the Discord. You got Josh Freed, the lone truck part of Stealth Motorsports, and Jay Burton, part of Go Fast. So they're really probably going to have to be working together with communication, as here they come on down into pit road. Josh Freed, Turbeville, Durkee, Collins, Barish, Stoy, and Naylor all coming on down and in. So that will be everybody, and looks like the 3 Hunter Smith going to do the same thing. And you know what? I think that's a smart call, because he's going to be able to come out with these guys in a big pack.
Yep. The Num Thumbs gaming guys are right there with the 96. So it's one of the other things we talked about, and the non-teammates hooking up together there. Looks like Josh Moore blinking out once again. He's there with all 3 of his teammates, Team America, all in a line there as they go through the tri-oval.
Yeah, if you're not on a team, you better have a friend. Or at least pretend like you're a friend.
Yeah, Limitless coming through with a big head of steam. Looked like the 51 maybe threw the umbrella out there, try to slow them on down a little bit, and it actually did something. They were going to be flying by there, and they ain't flying by them no more. As we got Cale Turbeville trying to rejoin the track, maybe catch the draft a little bit. I think he just missed it.
Right back to racing up front.
Dobson saw what I saw. He saw that big wiggle out of Albert Anderson when his teammate kind of pushed him a little, maybe wasn't on center on his bumper and loosened up Albert Anderson, but he was able to save it.
He just came down in front of Team America like a boss.
So they're going to get all lined up single file, and the 96 working well with the 64. They do catch the draft. Out here all alone, though, you got the 6, a Durkee. Stoy is a little ways behind him here. Same thing with Tom Barish, Mark Collins, and Steven Naylor. They're going to, the three of them are probably going to work together, maybe try to pick up Paul and catch on up to the rest of the field here.
Kevin Winker saw that big run coming from the 64 and the 96 and decided to jump on up there.
Lap
so
traffic.
He'll be leading that outside line.
And they're coming up on a little lap traffic here. We'll see how that kind of shakes out right in front of Albert. That's Hunter.
Hopefully, if Hunter Smith sees him coming, maybe he'll go up on the outside wall there.
Yeah, he can go down low. He's got plenty of space, and he does.
They go high than low because if you do run out of backstretch there on that apron, sometimes you can slide up across that yellow line. You can't really help it, but looks like he spilled off enough speed. Winker now rejoining his teammates between the Staten brothers there on that low line.
Freed and Turbeville trying to make use of the top line right now. That looks like they're moving on up.
George and Wheezy.
Great song, great show.
So we take a ride here with the 51 of Joshua Moore on that bottom line. He's kind of tucked in behind that Team Limitless right now. Is Cale Turbeville on that outside line getting a big old push. I wish they would fix that, though. The dang tire's like halfway into the dang ground.
I know. Him and Freed are fast on their own, though. They've got something figured out up there on that high line.
Well, getting things all figured out here as everybody hitting their first round of pit stops. No trouble to be seen in sight. Oh boy, it's like rolling Yahtzee after Yahtzee here.
Oh,
well, the only person that's had any trouble out here, it seems like, is the 3 of Hunter Smith, who had some computer issues. He's now 5 laps down. That's going to be really hard to recover from, even if they do get a couple of cautions. And so far, Adam, we've been caution-free here.
Yeah, we have. That's sometimes a surprise, well, especially with all the 3 wide stuff we were doing. But I think we're going to keep it clean at least till we get closer to the end. That's where everybody starts, making their moves and trying to turn people and learn them. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, try to destroy people if you can.
And with only 16 cars on the track right now, there's plenty of room to run out there. So J.A. Burton getting put a lap down there in the 26 machine.
Are you doing dishes or something over there?
No, it's the ice maker.
Okay. Yeah, you multitask. Look at that. Turbeville has got almost to the front end of Albert Anderson, but kind of dies off as they hit the turn.
That happens every time they get to that turn, especially right there going into 3 and 4. It just, that big run that you get on the backstretch just dies out.
You got to have that ice, it can be warm in your part of the world. So I want to make sure you're well hydrated with ice.
Well, it got pretty warm today. I think it was straight up 80 degrees in the middle of January. That's strange.
Yeah, we were in the 70s. It's nice.
Humidity was awful. I mean, it was
Sticky.
soupy out there. Yeah, gonna trick all the plants into thinking it's spring.
Oh man, I don't want that to happen. I'm sure there'll be some kind of hard freeze at some point. One more, you gotta have one more.
We always get that one that's right before Easter.
Yeah, out of nowhere, March or something.
That's why all the old folks say, you wait till Easter before you plant your tomatoes and stuff.
You gotta listen to the old people. They know stuff.
Oh yeah.
A farmer's almanac, They made it. They survived without the interwebs.
I'm sure the circulation isn't quite what it used to be, but I know it's still out there.
Yeah, they have them at the store. You can pick them up. All right,
Get
there
a
they.
Tractor Supply.
Look at that, Turboville.
Oh man, Albert, hold on to it, buddy.
Yeah, just getting
Turboville
down there,
came
clipping
down.
that apron a little bit.
Turboville using that momentum gained on the outside. The outside lines just do a great. Hunter Smith, 5 laps down, doing a heck of a job out there pushing.
We're about to pass Gregory Turner in that
Yeah.
HCK Beagles truck.
He's out there running by his lonesome right now.
You could even see him try to pinch down there to get as close to them as possible to start picking up that draft as soon as possible, tucking himself back down into line here as we continue to go 2 wide racing here with Albert Anderson and Cale Turboville up at the front of these lanes. Little squiggle there with the big bump from the 96 of Freed. 96 of Freed's going to drop down to the bottom line, leaving Albert out there all on his lonesome. Well, with the Hunter Smith.
Boy, there's some tricks being played on each other right now, isn't there?
Josh didn't waste any time, did he? He said, "Well, Albert, you're not going to take it. I'm going to dive down in there and take it."
This is when the pistol comes out the window right here. Yeah, we'll see what Albert's got for him.
They might be doing some sign language at each other. You never know.
Derek Welch says, "What's up, guys? He's watching us from a hospital bed." What? I know he was feeling bad.
Oh, that flu really got him bad, didn't it?
Well, whatever he got, he might have got the double. Man, well,
Derek, your boys out there, your old teammates out here representing NTG, they were doing pretty well up front there. Tom Barish and Mark Collins were way up near the front there. They kind of got shuffled back. Now they'll make another run towards the front here. Albert getting a pretty good push. Let's see if he can clear Freed here. I don't think he's going to make it.
no. Hunter Smith's trying to help him out, just not really working.
Damn, Derek. Sorry to hear that, buddy. That you're in the hospital there. Hopefully they're taking good care of you down there.
Yeah, the good drugs. That's for the good ones.
Yes, we do have a little bit of a chase pack all formed up here. Paul Durkee leading that one with the 4 of Eric Stoy, 5 of Stephen Naylor, Tom Barish, Mark Collins. Looks like Little Rimmer, who's kind of up the road a little bit, scored behind those guys. But they're all working together, trying to close up that gap here. Still, we're about actually right at halfway right now.
Oh my God.
He sees
Oh,
them.
Valiant.
Thank you, Valiant. I was worried about you. I left tickets at every race. Now you're back. Glad you're back with us. Watching some random stuff. This is definitely random. Talladega on a Tuesday night. Can't go wrong with that. Ooh, man. The world is better now. I'm not concerned anymore.
Yeah, Valiant's back. He heard your calls.
I just was worried about him. He just disappeared into the wind. But I'm glad he's back. This is a pretty good one to watch. I think it's going to get better at the end of this thing.
His teammate. Did you hear that?
Yeah, there's some shenanigans going on the radio there, Mr. Brown. They're kind of playing games with each other on the radio, so this should get fun and maybe even a fight.
Wait, what games are they playing? Tic-tac-toe? What
Well,
What I'll tell
ahead,
you what
explain
happened
it.
is that the 51 of Josh Moore was blinking earlier in the race, and now Mike Adamson, who's on a different team, running right in front of him, says, "Hey, that 51, he's blinking all over the place behind me." And of course, the 51's teammate is directly behind Moore, and he says, "I didn't see nothing. He looks fine to me." So
yeah, they're having fun, I guess. A little chess, not checkers out here. Valiant says he's thankful. 4 out of 5 voices in his head say Biden is a sane individual. Man,
4 out of 5. That's better than a dentist recommendation. On a certain type of toothpaste. Sometimes they say 3 out of 4 dentists recommend. What does that other dentist have against that toothpaste manufacturer? I just don't understand.
The other toothpaste guy's paying other dentists. That's how. It's all a money thing. Maybe all the little voices in the head they got money involved. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Rebecca Smith said, "Look at that 3 running up there all by himself. He needs some help up there, Rebecca."
He does.
He does, but I was going to say that's impressive. Only 5 voices? That's it?
Or you have more?
How many do you have? Yeah.
Oh.
What day of the week is it? Huh?
Yeah. Oh, man. It's... Now, it is Tuesday, so you got George, Steve, Jeff, Michael, Claire hops in there occasionally.
Claire?
Yeah, Claire.
Is she the voice of reason?
No.
Isn't that from a movie? Isn't that like a crazy movie? Claire. Oh, that's from.
No, it's isn't it Clarice?
Clarissa. Yeah,
Clarice.
Clarice. Yeah, that's what I
Talking
was
about
thinking.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, man, that freaks me out every time.
Single file, man. Are these guys maybe prepping for their second round of pit stops here? Should be coming up here pretty soon.
It should. They last pitted back on lap, between 22 and 24. So probably going to look right around lap, 44, right around
48.
there.
Man, Yahtzee.
Might be able to stretch the gas a little bit more, but I don't believe so.
No, especially Anderson up here. He's been running that front line quite a bit. Same thing with the 96 of Freed. I mean, even Cale Turbeville, he was getting that 96 on up here to the front. So you got some people who have been mashing that gas pedal with no relief. You gotta wonder if these guys have like a cruise control block put into these trucks or something. Like a little wooden block that they can kick up against the throttle that they can just leave it there.
Yeah, these guys out there nose to tail now. That's just one big long drafting train out here.
And that it is, which is something that the 6 of Paul Durkee doesn't want to see. With this chase pack trying to do their best to catch on up. They're about 9 seconds back, and they want them to go too wide and start fighting each other, slow them down just that little bit, and they can start eking out some of that time and try to get things on close again.
These guys might be pretty tame out there now, but don't expect that about lap 62 out of 70. They're going to be ramping up the aggression out there for sure. This is the playoffs. All the drivers you see out there with the yellow spoiler and the yellow banner across the top of the windshield, those are your playoff drivers that are eligible for the championship here.
Yeah, indeed. And it's not like we haven't seen any excitement either. We saw a good 3-wide racing going on for a while, and trying to think back at what what broke it up. It was just It was Kevin Winker dropping down from that middle lane, and everything got all slowed down in that middle and outside lane, and things just kind of shuffled down around. We were getting a little close to pit stops at that point, so it kind of made sense it was going to start to kind of fizzle its way on out anyway, as the 3 of Hunter Smith looking to move around the outside here, the 15.
Yeah, he's steady trying to get people to come with him there on the outside. Push some people up towards the front, I reckon.
Little Rimmer Gregory Turner coming on down into pit lane, but he's coming all down on his lonesome here.
Oh, he's got a black flag. I wonder if that's why he was coming down, or if he got that black flag on entry.
I can imagine he was probably getting it on entry there, because he's been out there for quite a while, and don't know what he would have got a black flag for other than maybe mouthing off to race control.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he was just trying to short pit it here out of cycle and sped a little bit coming in. That'll be a 40-second penalty under green flag conditions. That's 3/4 of a lap. 2/3 of a lap.
As we take a look here from Kevin Winker's perspective, out the dirty windshield. These guys don't have windshield wipers, and so they'll get all the rubber chunks and all that flying up on there. And sometimes it can be good. You know, eventually you get one of those little rubber spots right there, right where you want it, and you can line it up either on the yellow line or the white line or something, and you just keep it there, and next thing you know, you're driving pretty good as a 3 getting a run here on that outside lane. But Kevin deciding to elect for the rainbow LED lights here tonight. Getting the whole range of colors going on.
Nice ambiance.
Ryan, I'm with you. It is expensive.
So Greg Turner had to take care of something at the house real quick. That's why he came on down to the pits.
Oh, man.
You got to remember, he's got a little one too.
He's a new dad.
Relatively newborn there, so.
I'll tell you what, having kids it's a hell of a time, you know. Then when they're tiny,
Then they turn on you.
yeah, it's like they're tiny and they try to kill themselves if you look away, and then they get about 12, 15, they turn on you. You sleep with one eye open. You're afraid they're gonna, try to stab you or something.
And smother you with a pillow.
Yeah,
I bet
I
if
think
the kids work together, they could do it too.
I think mine would. Yeah, that's what, if they work together like the Menendez brothers, they could take me out. Of course,
My God.
I don't have like a fortune or anything not to leave them, so they probably need me at this point.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Well, as we're getting closer and closer to the next round of pit stops, these guys are going to need to get fuel, and that fuel will be used as energy. And speaking of energy, gotta go ahead and order your next order of Dubby at dubby.gg, where you can get jitter-free energy with code HCK and 10% off at checkout. Have yourself, get yourself some fantastic tasting, delicious beverages there that can increase your focus and give you that extra drive here, especially on these kind of long slogs over the night.
You do the same, Valiant. Valiant saying, "Have a blessed night, guys."
Well, we lost him. At least he told us goodbye before he erased all his messages. They were funny. I enjoyed them. I'm glad you're around still. Come join us whenever. Always a ticket for Valiant.
Yes, indeed.
He cleans up his messages when he leaves too. He's just like, "All right, delete everything I wrote," and then no evidence.
As both Adamson and Anderson coming on down into pit lane here, so Limitless sticking together. As Josh Freed now, he's gonna lead the lead pack line out and around.
Valiant's he's like my Elvis, you know. Jerry Glanville always left a couple tickets for Elvis. Take a couple tickets for Valiant. Every time. Here we go. Big pack of trucks coming down here.
Almost 3 wide coming on down into pit lane, but everybody looking pretty good there, English. It looks like everyone's on top of their game coming down into pit road tonight.
Yeah, no speeding penalties there as Team America comes down, and so does Cale Turbeville and the 96 is Josh Freed.
Man, looks like the 6, the 4, the 5, the 55, and the 23 staying on out there for one more night. They were one of the last ones to come on down into pit lane. I think they're trying to make this one their final stop. I know the other guys, it's cutting it a little close here.
Yeah, the GOATs are all together now, and Team NTG's all together out there now. So, but you might see a little cooperation between these two teams. They could pit with one big group, might benefit all of them. And J.A. Burton out there with them as well in the 26. Here they come.
Here they come. Except, oh no, the 55 of Tom Barish. I don't know if he's trying to maybe get a lead lap led. Ooh, a little squiggle there as well from
Durkee in the 6. Yeah, he went in the grass.
6, getting in the grass. Got to be careful there for unsafe pit entry, but I think he is able to save it just in time. But Tom Barish either not getting the memo or just wants to lead a lap out there here tonight, and all on his lonesome. That is not gonna be good for him, as the field of Cale Turbeville, Josh Moore, they're flying up on him here. I mean, they're taking off second after second after second. That's just how much of a difference this draft makes.
And Collins is his teammate. I'm wondering why the teammates decided to do different things there, or if Tom just blanked out for a second. It's happened to me. Team America has caught the 96 of Freed and the 64.
Ooh.
And their team. Oh, no!
96 of Freed goes up to... Teammates. Yeah, 96 of Freed tried to trickle on up there and maybe protect the line a little bit. He's running blocker in the middle of this pack.
That might not have been a smart move. Now they're getting angry. Now we got another blocker up there, Moore, blocking Winker.
Well, he's teammates. He's probably trying to get all lined up with them here. But here comes the 747 of Albert Anderson and Team Limitless with the 751 of Mike Adamson catching on up. They really had nowhere to go. They were trying to figure out what to do, and they're like, let's just check it on up here for a second. And
I was hoping they'd jump to the third lane, Alan.
I was hoping so too, but we're not the drivers.
That was scary.
Yeah, it was a little fun.
Did
just a little bit of terror right there.
Did you see the contact between teammates? We saw Winker and the 88 of Staten.
I think that was because of the checkup there.
Yeah, I think you're right, because of those moves that were being made up in front of them. Well, here we go again. Limitless leading the lane. Team America leading the lane. It's just like the start of this thing. Cale Turbeville's up there, might be one of the determining factors along with Josh Freed. See what they can do. Oh, Winker getting up there, sticking his nose out, getting a little cooling air with a little added advantage of side draft on the 751.
Well, this is how we started the thing. I guess this may be how we end this thing.
Hope so. I love good, exciting finishes to these big pack racetracks. These guys are definitely having fun out there. There's no doubt about that. Yahtzee, I can't contain my excitement right now.
Well, Albert Anderson can't either. On the outside, he may take the lead here. Well, lost a little momentum, didn't he?
He did just a little bit. Well, we're still racing here side by side up at the front as Anderson and Moore battle nose to nose, side to side here for this race lead with 19 laps to go. Oh boy. These guys are going to have to try to make it about 23 laps their turn to make it to the end of this one. So they're going to have to do a little bit of fuel saving, I think.
Yeah, or hope for a caution maybe. They could be banking on a caution. Woo! Teammates got Albert a little sideways there.
Hey, Mike Adamson, he's not scared to do a little bit of pushing there. He's one of those guys that, he'll have your back. I did some hosted race, and it was done by heats and whatever, and me and Adamson were in the same heat, and we were in those ARCA cars, Adam, and you can't bump draft those, right?
Yeah, those are no. You cannot.
Well, we bump drafted the entire time.
How did y'all do that?
Because he is a talented driver there, and we were able to outrun everybody. As Nicole jumping on in there. I don't even want to try to butcher your last name, Nicole, but saying "Go Winker, go!" Who's cheering on that 42 machine out here tonight?
Graffiti. Would be my guess.
Is it? Oh, see, I was seeing like 7 other letters in there.
I got my glasses on. See,
okay.
when I'm wearing my glasses, I can see a little better. The just cheater reader things. You buy at.
You're a cheater?
The cheater reader glasses. Yeah, well.
Glasses?
Yeah, my glasses. I mean, I'm not a cheater. I don't race. I'm not a part of this whole thing. I just watch them and call them. If I was any good at this, I'd probably be in here. I have more fun watching.
But I thought you were a champion.
Michigan. I'm in Michigan. I am.
Okay.
I'm pretty good at that.
It's the chase pack of Stoy, Naylor, Durkee, and Collins. They're starting to run out of time. I'm willing to bet they're hoping, some caution happens up here at the front to give them a chance to catch back on up, because they're about 17 seconds back now, and they had lost their 4th driver there, or their 5th driver in the 55 of Tom Barish. So they're starting to kind of run out of numbers as the 300 Smith stays on up here with this lead group. Still a few laps down. Jay Burton, your current lucky dog position driver right now.
How about Hunter Smith out there sticking with it? I mean, mathematically, I don't think there's any way he's going to win this race, but he's out there just he could pick up some attrition positions if we have a big old wreck here. So he's out there sticking with it. Proud of old Hunter. Would you have rage quit by now, Adam? Probably. Huh?
Oh, if I was him? No, I would have taken somebody out first. Then I'd quit.
You gonna take somebody with you?
Might as well. I mean, if I'm going down, I'm going down with some others.
How about the oldest man in iRacing making one of the oldest references? Only a few people are going to understand that about Mr. Magoo.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I bet he probably watched Captain Kangaroo and what else did he get? Mr. Ed.
That's not that old. That's 70s.
Well, I watched that. Mr. Ed.
I watched it on Nick at Night.
He's so old. They didn't have radio. They didn't even have radio when he was born. He learned about the radio.
Number's like 7, I think.
Yeah, I'm glad he's here.
Yeah,
got his spectacles on and watching.
We love Richard. We do a little ball breaking on him, but he's a good guy. Josh Moore getting a good push from the 42, his teammate here. Limitless continues to run that outside line together, trying to make something happen. Not a lot of aggressive side drafting just yet. We've seen him kind of testing the waters a little bit, time to time. They're not real aggressive just yet. Joel Moore out there pulling for Josh in the 51, saying, let's go Team America, let's go number 51. Well, here comes another big run by Limitless on the outside. They're not able to clear Moore, though.
They are not, as they continue to drive here. One thing to note, though, Adamson is part of that championship 10, but not running those banners, so I wouldn't be surprised maybe if Albert, if he gets up here, takes the lead, and they're controlling things coming down to it, if he might be able to be a little willing to give Adamson that little bump up.
I mean, all these guys are competitors. It's really hard to make yourself kind of fall on the sword for a teammate, but it may happen. Richard Gray says his number's social security number is 110. That's his car number.
Yeah.
In the leagues that he runs in. It's always the 110 car, always. Or truck.
He must not have gotten a letter to sign up for that Social Security. That's probably why it's 110.
I don't think it existed when he was born. He had to sign up after.
Yeah. How was that Roman healthcare system there, Richard?
Him and his sons voted for Roosevelt, I believe.
I can't keep up with y'all. Richard's out there getting top tens in races. I don't know why we're giving him such a hard time.
Yeah, that's true. Michael Newton verifying the fact that Adamson is still in the chase. He thought he got knocked out, so he took the yellow banner off. But he is still eligible.
Yeah, it's not a knockout style playoffs. They're just running the top 10. They reset their points and sent them on out as the 15 shoves his way up to that outside lane, trying to maybe leapfrog some cars here.
He saw Hunter Smith coming with a full head of steam and said, you know what, I'm going to go up there and catch a ride with him. And he's getting a pretty good push on the outside of Team Limitless right now.
Side by side we go. 3 wide. Wow, that was bad. 3 wide racing we go with 11 laps to go.
3 wide, about 2 rows deep. With a couple of guys riding in the back here. Josh Freed, I think he's kind of keeping a little bit of space, trying to figure out what line he wants to join. As we're getting closer to the end, 10 to go.
And 10 to go indeed. Anderson in the middle. You got Moore on the bottom side with Staten up on the high side here. Looks like Cale Turbeville trying to do a little shuffle here and figure out where he wants to be. You only got 2 cars now down on that bottom side. Is that going to allow this middle and high lane to get a big run? Albert is clear, but just for a second. Oh, man. So just the 2 trucks on that bottom side, they can really put in some good work here.
Yeah, they do fine in the turns. It's when they get on the straightaways, look at the run they're getting on the outside 2 lines here. That's when it starts to show, especially on the back stretch. They're not going to clear them here. It doesn't look like.
Not quite. And you know what? I really like what Cale is doing here, riding in that middle. It gives him options. If something happens in front of him, he can go up, he can go down. You know, he can just slam on the brakes, throw out the air spoilers and everything. Oh, there's a little wiggle down there on the bottom. But Cale has given himself some options, even though it doesn't look like he's in a good spot right now.
Well, and 3 wide, they're going to catch some traffic up ahead. We'll see what happens there. It's going to be difficult to maneuver around them when you're 3 wide.
Brett Winker joining us over there on the YouTube chat, pulling for the 42 of Kevin Winker, who's currently pushing his teammate, the 51 of Josh Moore. And a lap car getting some pleading from the lead pack here, saying, hey, please. Whoa, boys. Big shake up there.
Little door check between the 747 and the 15 up on that outside. As see, look at that Cale there. You saw that, you know what? Maybe if I dive on down to the bottom here, this bottom can get a big run, which they did as the 51 and the 42 break clear for a second here. Oh, but the 747 with a big run comes on back.
42 for the win, says Paul Ferdiani, who's joining us over there on the YouTube as well. Hey, guys, nobody's going to remember the first 65 laps of this thing. All the comments in the Discord, whatever happens from here on out, it's going to be about the end of this race, no matter what happens here. I have a feeling, though, this thing has been caution-free the whole time, and now we've got a bunch of aggressive drivers up here battling 3 wide. Just saying. I don't think it's going to end all sunshine,
Ooh.
rainbows, and unicorns. Here.
Another hard push there from Adamson to his teammate of Anderson out there in front of him, getting him a little loose, almost hooking that bumper. The 96 of, I think, Freed sees that and says, maybe let's go on down to the bottom side, maybe pick up a little bit more of a run as the 747 to 751 get stuck on that middle line here. You got the 15, the 3, and I believe that's the 88 of the other Staten brother up there on that far outside lane.
Oh man, where is the big one going to be? Because I feel it coming. There's like electricity in the air. If you've watched these plate track races before, you can almost feel it.
The 64 has made his choice. He's going to stay on the inside line with these Team America guys, and he brought the 96 of Josh Freed with him here. We'll see if that decision pays off. Only a few short laps to go here. Back too wide again.
And too wide for the moment, but I got a feeling when somebody maybe sniffs that they can pick up a run, they're going to be able to make it out there to 3 wide once again. But 2 lanes of traffic going on here. Is Ferdiani calling the 42, 64, the 15 trifecta box.
Hey, how come I didn't get a race program? You're supposed to. I thought you were in charge of handing those out.
Me?
I had a printer jam.
One of you guys.
Well, I mean, sorry, didn't you check your email or anything? I sent it to you.
No.
No.
I thought you were going to snail mail it to me.
Well, it's all digital now.
So we're coming on down to it. 5 laps left to go now. Ooh, little bit of a bobble there for the 42, but able to get it back up before getting into the corner there. Very dangerous to be touching that apron, as we all know what happens when you get 2 wheels off down there.
That's a big transition. That's a huge difference in angle right there at that yellow line. So get close to the yellow. Don't cross it.
As that second lane starting to pull ahead with a little bit of momentum. Anderson was clear for just a split second, but electing to stick with his teammate here in that 751.
I think that's the wise choice at this point. You still have, 3 laps to go total, roughly. You're going to have to make that decision at the last minute on the last lap.
Our operator saying, what a great race. You ain't kidding. It ain't over yet either. This thing's about to get heated up here. This last few laps.
Who's going to get turned and learn?
Ooh,
Paul Ferdiani's surprised it's only 2 wide, but that may change here in the next couple of laps as they cross the start-finish line one more time here. Well, they got a couple more laps to go.
And 3 laps to go as they come back down across the line. Anderson again clear, but still staying on up there with Adamson here. You got, at some point, you got to imagine that maybe Anderson drops on down to maybe, I don't know how to word this correctly.
Hold up the inside line.
Yeah, but at least hold him up, and then Limitless would be controlling both lanes.
Yep, that's right. He can help his teammate out tremendously if he can get clear of the 51 and just start sandbagging, just start feathering that throttle and let the 751 get pushed by the 15 possibly.
Are we going to have any real throttle issues with fuel here too? We got to worry about that.
And they are definitely probably close on fuel, especially like Anderson, who's been leading this charge. Same thing with the 51 of Moore. They're both probably looking a little stretched out for fuel here. As here we go, 3 wide once again. Big run coming in from those Staten boys on that outside lane. They're bringing Hunter Smith with them as everybody gets all lined up here. 3 wide with 2 laps to go, exiting corner number 2, and now down this back straightaway. The 747 and 751 trying to get a run and stay in front of that outside lane. They don't want to allow that 15 to drop on down. He's going to do it anyway. Barely clear. You could not have fit a toad frog down in between those 2 trucks.
Well, it's causing some anger too. There's a little controversy now.
Said he got
What?
bumped. I didn't see that.
Boy, they're playing games with each other. But you're talking about Caleb Turbeville. I like where he's at now. He's sitting real pretty.
I was going to talk about that. Paul Ferdiani talked about him being trapped, and he did see an opportunity to get back up there and join the outside lane.
It's a 15 with a big bump, but we took the white flag, so no more cautions. We're going to have a 3-car sprint here to the finish. The 96 of Freed, 64 of Turbeville, and the 751 of Adamson break free of that chaos going on down there at the exit of turn number 2. 96 leads the 64 down through turns 3 and 4. This is it, the final lap, the final push. Who's going to get the run down that final extra 200 feet of space? The 96 drifts on up in front of the 64, trying to throw the block. 751 gets behind the 96, gives him a shove, jumps up to that middle lane. 3-wide drag race here, going across the line with a big run at the end. The 751 of Mike Adamson picks up the win.
Wow.
It looked to me like the 747 Anderson got into the 15, just wasn't square. And the 15 went around, and golly, just all of Team America just pretty much wiped out all at once there.
Well, all bets are off. You're talking about the last lap here, so we knew it was going to happen. I thought it happened a little bit later on lap 70, but wow.
The finishes here at Talladega never disappoint, and the only people disappointed right now is Team America that they got caught up in all that. But how about Joshua Freed to stick with it out there? Single car team out there, isn't he, today? But teaming up with Cale Turbeville, finding a friend out there.
Oh, I will say the 96 and the 64 got lucky. They got the net code ghost through. Oh my goodness, talk about luck there. Let's see it from Mike Adamson's perspective here, as he was kind of in that last little group. Ooh, I think he got lucky too, but he might have actually made it through pretty clear. Let's go ahead and jump on up to the...
Oh, man, what a wreck.
Chopper camera here. And you know what? Adamson would have made that one clean through.
So even with being all that close and everything, he didn't have any contact that was even perceived. Albert Anderson able to keep it rolling. He'll finish 16 seconds behind the leader in 4th place.
As you can see here, the finish as I come out of turn number 4, the 751 gives that one little extra push there to the 96, gets a little bit of that run, squeezes his way on around, and just by the nose gets the win over the 96. And the 96 almost dropped back on down to 3rd, but Cale Turbeville just a split moment behind.
You got to feel for these guys that got involved in this wreck here at the end, but that you got to think about this. It's the nature of pack racing. This is what happens at these big tracks where you get everybody clumped together. They're dependent on bumps and drafting and side drafting and staying close to one another, and it just takes all the reaction time out of it, and just a bump where you're not completely square. It's happened to everybody, and it happened to the 15 tonight.
And you know what? It wouldn't be Talladega without the big one out without a caution. It happens. That's part of it.
Some days
there's
you're
a lot
shield, someday you're the bug.
Yeah, there was a lot of tricks being played on by several different teams tonight. Let's be honest. There's a lot of inside baseball stuff that not everyone's privy to. We hear a little bit on the radio. They're playing games with each other out there. I mean, it's part of racing.
Gamesmanship. It's part of the fun.
It's part of racing. You can't just. We're not robots. People are
just
human.
Like the guy said, it's raining in turn 3. Trying to get NASCAR to throw it. When they're leading the race.
Yeah, exactly. It's just little tricks of the trade these guys have picked up. They've been doing it
Sure.
so long that they can play a little bit of mind games with each other. And then you get to lap 70, all bets are off. I mean, just punch it.
Indeed. And right before we get here to talk to Cale Turbeville, ready down in the chat, English, I know you got 2 more names to add on to that list for your fan of the race coming up at the end of the month.
Yes, sir. So we've got Emily Jane Smith. And what happened to it? Brett Winker. Emily Jane Smith and Brett Winker. You have been added to the list of folks. They're going to do a drawing here at the end of the month for some gear from help me out here.
TrackDogsRacing.com.
TrackDogsRacing.com. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
What's wrong with your brain today, son?
It's fried, man.
Well, let's talk to someone whose brain is most likely fried, and that's going to be the 64 of Cale Turbeville, your hard charger of the evening, up 10 spots and coming home in third here tonight, Cale. And man, oh man, was that a wild ride. Not very often that you see plate track racing go flag to flag, but that is what we saw. You got a little luck on your side there, being able to kind of net code through that final incident and just kind of walk us through there, because you were having some big moments there where not necessarily up at the front, but you were having to pick lanes and be careful about where you were putting that car.
Yeah, that was at the end especially. It was picking and choosing because everybody else was on the team. There was only like me and Joshua, I think, was the only ones that wasn't really assigned to a team in that situation, and everybody was just kind of blocking the 751 and 747. They couldn't get around Team America too well, and it was just kind of blocking us all up. We was just kind of bottlenecked there at the end, but I was just sitting there in my head, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, just trying to pick which line. And it definitely worked for me. I mean, it could have ended up worse, but.
And Paul Ferdiani, who was one of the guys pulling for you over there on the YouTube channel, said, "Hey, man, it looks like Cale might be trapped here." And that's when you were kind of stuck on the bottom line behind a couple of cars. And then you were able to just swing it up to the outside. He said, "Hey, that's more like it," and you were able to get up there and survive somehow once that wreck started to unfold.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the pack was way bigger than it was whenever I was trapped up there, but then whenever everybody started moving around a little bit more and it started getting to the end, I was like, dang, where'd all the people go? The pack was half the size I thought it was, so right there at the end, I backed out of it, got to the back and just sat there for a second trying to figure out which lane I wanted, and I went up high and it worked for me.
Yeah, that's the best thing about these plate tracks. You can go from worst to first, chump to champ in no time. You almost pulled off the champ part, but great job playing the field. You have to kind of use your brain a little bit, watch these guys fight it out, and sort your way through it, and that's what you did. Awesome job. You have anybody you want to thank?
Yes, sir. My mom and my daddy. Y'all for doing a great job broadcasting. The admins, Mr. Gregory, Mr. Michael, for doing a great job with the race control. Everybody that turned up tonight to race, they did a great job. It was fun. Thanks to Joshua for being a good drafting buddy tonight, and yeah, it was fun.
It definitely looked like it there. Cale, congratulations getting that third place finish. Definitely going to help you out here in these points as these playoffs continue to roll on here. Only a few weeks left as we start to kind of wind things on down here, man. Congratulations, and can't wait to see you guys back out here in action again next week. And with that, we'll move on up to tonight's second place finisher here, just losing out on the drag race. It's going to be the 96 of Josh Freed, making it through the chaos there on that final lap. And Josh, we were just talking with Cale about it, and you normally don't see a flag-to-flag race, and it's only a matter of time before the big one strikes, and you just happen to be in one of the best spots to be in right when it happened there on that outside lane. And just kind of Walk us through that fantastic finish and the great race that you guys had out there tonight.
Yeah, it was definitely a fantastic race. I mean, we held 3 wide consistently, cleanly for like almost the whole race. So I was definitely impressed with everybody. It was a lot of fun doing that. There at the end, yeah, it was. I knew there wasn't much I could do where I was at, so I was just gonna keep my foot to the floor and try and push the 3 as far as I could. And I saw him kind of wreck in front of me, and I was never gonna lift. And got lucky. iRacing gods blessed me through the 51, to be able to come through that clean. But that was a lot of fun to finish there.
Well, it sure was fun to watch. We enjoy watching pack racing. We have a little thing that we say is that some of the best racing to watch isn't the most fun to drive, and vice versa. But it looked like a lot of you guys were having fun out there, especially you and Kale, who, like you said, unlikely friends out there on different teams and just out there working together. You guys make a heck of a team. Maybe y'all need to start thinking about a new team charter or something, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely great working with Kel today. He was definitely good. I remember I pushed him to the front once. He pushed me to the front once. Like, we really worked well together. It was a lot of fun. There at the end is tough, too. I mean, 9 guys in that last pack, and 4 of them are on the same team. You really run out of friends quickly there. So I was definitely glad to be able to work with Kel. I definitely think that us two working together really helped us both grab top 2 finishes.
And that's true. And he mentioned the same about you. Great job fighting through it. I know a lot of white knuckle driving when y'all were 3 wide. It had to have been tough, frustrating to try to get around all those teams and stuff. But you did a great job. Worked out tonight. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I just want to thank Kale, honestly, for a great race today. Definitely helped me out there, and definitely for you guys up in the booth, making it always fun to watch the next day. It was not my normal type of fun racing, but I definitely had a blast tonight.
Awesome. Well, great job out there here tonight, Josh. Definitely going to help you as well in those championship standings, and we look forward to seeing you guys back out here in action once again next week.
All right, thank you very much, guys.
As we move on up to tonight's race winner, and the only person who would have actually officially made it through that last wreck scot-free and clear is the 751 of Mike Adamson, doing a heck of a job pushing your teammate out there with Albert and keeping you guys up there in the competition all race long. Man, it was definitely a good effort there for Team Limitless, and man, oh man, walking away here a race winner, and you didn't even think you were in the championship anymore, but look at you picking up the race win. That's going to definitely help you out in the points.
Absolutely. Wow. I'm sweating. I can tell you that right now. I just don't know what else to say. I mean, if you go back and ride on board with me that wreck, how I got through it, I don't know. I puckered a little bit, to be honest. I mean, I was a little nervous.
We did watch it. We watched it back a couple of times on the replay, and it at those speeds and at that close a distance to everybody, your reaction time, it's not going to do you any good. I mean, it's just stuff is going to happen, and you're either going to get lucky and miss it, or you're going to be involved in the middle of it, and you happen to just scoot right on through there. But you and your teammate, y'all got a big challenge ahead of you next week. iRacing Super Speedway is the next track on the schedule, and as we know, it gets nuts out there with the speeds, and you got to worry a little bit about the net code issues and stuff out there. I think iRacing's starting to slowly address some of that, but what do you think about next week with you and your teammate there, bud?
As long as I got Albert Anderson with me, I got the strongest horse out there.
That says a lot. Y'all had a lot of fun tonight. I guess y'all, Team America was up there with y'all fighting the entire race. That had to have been some to, just be a little frustrated with. I'm sure y'all were playing games with each other. Is kind of what we talked about. The team aspect, which is really cool, and that's why racing's fun, right? Just a little team versus team action. That's what happened tonight too. Y'all got better. You got your team won the race tonight, but I mean, it happens. This is Dega.
Absolutely. I mean, Albert and I were discussing the whole time when we were up there on that second row, and he's like, "I'm not leaving my teammate. I'm not leaving my teammate." I said, "Dude, if you get to run, go for it." And he's like, "I'm not leaving you. I'm not leaving you." And then I kept telling him, I'm like, "Dude, I think we're better staying in this middle run because every time we come off before, we got such a run that I was able to push him out in front." And I said, "This is where we're going to get the win from. It's going to be this middle row."
Well, you guys only got 3 races left on the schedule. iRacing Super Speedway, then Daytona, and then the difference maker, the championship race, is going to be back here again at Talladega. So maybe carry over a little bit of luck from tonight's win here on down the road for the final race on February 7th.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, because you definitely have to have some luck here. I mean, you got a skill, but you definitely got to have some luck when it comes to Dega. I mean, that proved it on that last wreck, man. How I made it through that, I couldn't even tell you. I screamed so loud after I started to cross the start finish line. My son come running in here to make sure I was okay, and he's high-fiving me, hugging me, and everything. My son Dale. I think y'all broadcasted him a couple times.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, wow. I don't know what else to say. This is definitely one of the top-notch wins I'd have to say I got.
I was definitely on up there. Congratulations there, Mike. But before we let you go, you got any other shout-outs or anything like that there, buddy?
Absolutely. Once again, thank Albert Anderson. He's one of my Limitless teammates. Couldn't think of anybody better to run with when it comes to Talladega. Thank Ricky Wittenberg at D&D Race Graphics for the paint. Truck looked amazing. Thank all the guys I work with. I know they're watching. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Thank my wife, as always. I never forget her in an interview. I love her to death. She supports me and allows me to do this, my hobby that I have. But and you guys for putting this broadcast on. You guys are top-notch broadcast. Wouldn't watch anybody else.
Well, we appreciate it here, buddy.
That means a lot, man.
Great job here tonight as you bring that 751 home on top here with a great run at Talladega. Congratulations, Mike. Go celebrate, and we'll see you guys back out here in action soon enough.
Absolutely. Good night, fellas.
Oh, man. And with that,
He's pumped.
I would be pumped. I don't know who you are. There ain't nobody in this world that wouldn't be pumped after that.
Awesome.
It was a great race out there tonight. And so
that's a fact.
Let's go ahead and take a quick look-see here at where your favorite driver ended up finishing here tonight. Now, note the standings that you see on the screen may not be official. They do go back through and double-check everything, make sure everything is kosher. But as of right now, Mike Adamson, your race winner here, just coming out there in front of Josh Freed and Carol Tuberville. That's going to be your top 3, and it's the 3 drivers that made it through that final wreck pretty darn clean. You also got Albert Anderson in that 747, doing a heck of a job up there, leading that middle row for so long, but just getting into it there on that final lap, finishing in 4th. The 88 of Zach Staten, able to squeeze his way on around there to finish in that top 5. Same thing with the 42. Kevin Winker just coming up a little short there. Getting involved in that last wreck there, finishing in 6th. You got Cody Staten in the 15, involved at the start of that incident, finishing here in 7th. Eric Stoy, one of your championship leaders there with Kevin Winker, gets an 8th place finish here tonight. You also had the 5 of Stephen Naylor finishing this one out in 9th, with the 6 of one of the team goats, Paul Durkee, rounding out tonight's top 10.
NTG team member Mac. Mark Collins in the 23 finishes right where he started, right there in 11th place. Joshua Moore started outside row number 2. He'll end up in 12th after that big wreck. 55 of Tom Barish, another NTG driver. He'll finish your first truck 1 lap down there in 13th. 14th will be J.A. Burton in the 26 machine. Hunter Smith in the 3. We saw him after that wreck he had after his computer crashed, he hung with that front pack and just did everything he can just to participate and have fun. And great job there, Hunter. He'll finish way back in 15th for his efforts tonight. And rounding out your field tonight, Gregory Turner in the 69.
Ain't having that little little family thing to get to, so he had to park it here on early. But that is your field here tonight. Again, special thank you to Michael Newton. Had his hands pretty free and clear for most of the night up until that final lap. So good job there, Mike. Thank you for jumping on out. And we thank you all for tuning in and watching and having a great time with us. As we appreciate it and have such a good time of doing it with y'all. Y'all are the reason why we do it in the first place. So thank you guys so much. If you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, so that way you get alerted every single time that we go live. And our schedule gets crazier and crazier, and you don't want to miss a single second of this race in action. And if you do enjoy watching any of the race in action, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, so that way YouTube shares it with their algorithm to more and more people on their suggested feeds, being like, hey, you might actually like this, because a whole bunch of other people are liking it as well, and we get to continue to grow this fantastic community. Of course, we got to thank tonight's race sponsor of Freedom Landscaping over there in the Carolinas. Veteran owned and operated since 2013. Give them a call. Even though it's the winter, get stuff set up for the spring now, because you know these people, they get they get booked up quick. So don't miss out on your chance. Give them a call at 336-909-0629 for a good quality family owned business over there to take care of all your yard and lawn needs. Also, a big thank you to Davidson Builders, of course. Can't forget about them up there in that northern New Jersey area. If you're looking to maybe do some remodeling, put some extensions on, do whatever you need to do with your home, be sure to go check out Davidson Builders, some of the premier builders in that northern New Jersey area. Big thank you as well to AdminBoxx. Thank you, AdminBoxx, for jumping on board all season long, as well as TrackDogsRacing.com, the premier merchandising supplier for the HCK Beagles Racing League. And of course, can't forget the energy provider of Dubby.gg. Be sure to pick up your jitter-free, sugar-free energy over at Dubby.gg and use code HCK at checkout for 10% off your next order. Well, looking on ahead, we actually have an off day. It's not normal that the Vigilante Racing League takes some days off, but they're in between seasons right now, and so we got an off day here tomorrow night, but we will be back on Friday with the Num Thumbs Racing League ARCA series, which I believe is heading on to, make sure I'm looking in January. Oh, it's heading on up here. God, I can't wait until this one's over. It's going to be coming up to New Hampshire for, as of right now, 200 laps. That's going to be an interesting race in those ARCA cars. But until Friday night, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
We gone.
See ya.